Alright guys, it is finally here, the Fantasy Football Championship in Week 17. We need to go over the top 10 running back rankings for Week 17 Fantasy Football, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. The number one running back in Week 17 is going to be Christian McCaffrey. He is playing the Las Vegas Raiders, baby. You gotta ride the ups and downs with McCaffrey in San Francisco. Week 16 was a down week as well, at least for his standards it was. He ended up with 13 points on 17 opportunities, which is a lower number for McCaffrey. But Week 17 is going to be an up week for him. In a great matchup versus the now almost eliminated Las Vegas Raiders, I expect McCaffrey to bring it home to you in Week 17, also your Fantasy Football Championship. The number 2 running back in Week 17 is going to be Austin Ekeler. He is playing the Los Angeles Rams, man. So here's the thing, since this video is coming out here on Monday afternoon, I have not seen the Monday night game versus the Indianapolis Colts for the Los Angeles Chargers, so I don't know exactly how he panned out in Week 16. But I'm pretty sure he's going to turn out great, not just for tonight, but in Week 17 as well, versus the Los Angeles Rams when the Chargers try to solidify their playoff positioning. The number 3 running back in Week 17 is going to be Saquon Barkley. He is taking on the Indianapolis Colts here. Saquon is back just in time for the Fantasy Football Championship. He's been fantastic the past 2 weeks with 23 points and 27 points. Expect Saquon Barkley to come out ready to rumble versus the Colts in Week 17. The number 4 running back in Week 17 is going to be Derrick Henry. He is taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Henry played a really good game versus Houston, but it wasn't really the fantasy finish that I was expecting personally. He ended up with 126 rushing yards and a touchdown for 17 fantasy points. Henry is already the centerpiece in that Tennessee offense, but especially with Ryan Tannehill out, they cannot afford to have Henry get anything less than 25 carries. He's going to be a threat, as always, versus the Dallas Cowboys in Week 17. The number 5 running back in Week 17 is going to be Alvin Kamara. He is taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. I predicted that Alvin Kamara was going to deliver in Week 16, and he did exactly that versus the Cleveland Browns, and I expect him to do it again here versus the Eagles in Week 17. He's back on track with at least 20 carries in the last 2 games, and on top of that, the Philadelphia matchup is actually not as tough as it looks on running backs as it really does sound. I expect him to have an important fantasy performance here for you in Week 17. The number 6 running back in Week 17 is going to be Joe Mixon. He is taking on the Buffalo Bills, guys. Joe Mixon deserves his respect here at number 6. He's a volume play every single week, and he's on one of the hottest offenses in the NFL as well. The matchup versus Buffalo doesn't appear pretty on paper, but here's the thing, it's going to be a shootout. Cincinnati versus Buffalo here. Both of these teams are fighting for positioning in the playoffs in the AFC, so Joe Mixon is just going to have a chance, a very strong chance to be a top 5 running back in Week 17, but definitely top 10. The number 7 running back for Week 17 is going to be James Conner. He is taking on the Atlanta Falcons. James Conner is basically running the show for Arizona here, and that's exactly what they need him to be doing without a real NFL quarterback. With no NFL caliber quarterback, Conner had to shoulder the offense in Week 16 and did an excellent job at it as well. This week, he gets a much easier matchup versus Atlanta here too. James Conner here at the RB7. The number 8 running back here in Week 17 is going to be Travis Etienne. He is taking on the Houston Texans, baby. Travis Etienne, he's been a little bit disappointing lately, right? He hasn't scored a rushing touchdown since Week 9 and has had a tough stretch of matchups over that same span. But Houston is the perfect remedy for those kind of issues, and he's going to revive himself at the perfect time here in Week 17. Feel very confident about playing Travis Etienne this week. The number 9 running back in Week 17 is going to be Dalvin Cook. He is taking on the Green Bay Packers, guys. For the most part, I would say that Dalvin Cook overall this year has been a little bit disappointing, but he is still seeing a solid amount of volume week to week, and that is what is important here. As Minnesota is fighting to secure playoff positioning, I like Dalvin Cook as a top 10 running back here in week 17. And also guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you play fantasy football and like the video if it's given you value so far. The number 10 running back in week 17 is going to be Josh Jacobs. He is taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Josh Jacobs is a top 3 running back on the year. He did have a rough go of it in week 16 versus Pittsburgh in what was a plus matchup. He also, on top of that, has the hardest matchup for a fantasy running back here in Fantasy Championship Week 17. But he is a do-it-all running back for the Las Vegas Raiders, and with an offense as inconsistent as Las Vegas, they lean on Jacobs for consistency. Do not lose faith now in Josh Jacobs in Week 17. He may not be special this week, but he is still too involved and too explosive to sit in week 17. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you play fantasy football and like the video if you enjoyed it. And if you are looking for another great defensive play here tonight, click on this video right here and click the link in the description to support the channel.